Welcome back to The Remote Islander, your go-to podcast for all things remote work in the Caribbean and Latin America. Today we're tackling a question that has been on my mind for a little while because I'm coming up on 3 years in the remote work world. How do I actually grow my career when I'm working remotely? We've talked about managing your time, optimizing your workspace, and mastering those essential soft and hard skills. But what happens after you've gotten those basics down? How do you get noticed? How do you take on more responsibility, learn new things, and ultimately move up the ladder or even redefine your career path, all from your home office or a co-working space or wherever you choose to log in from? This is a really valid concern because in a traditional office, there's a certain visibility that comes with just being physically present. You bump into your manager in the hallway, you spontaneously collaborate with colleagues, you're literally seen at your desk. When you're remote, that dynamic changes. So how do we intentionally build that visibility and drive our own professional development? First up, let's talk about staying visible to management. You might be thinking, I'm getting my work done. Isn't that enough? And while your work does speak volumes, sometimes you need to provide a little translation for your managers. It's not about being a digital shadow, constantly poking your head into every conversation or checking in. It's about strategic communication and really demonstrating the impact you're making. We're starting with proactive communication on progress. Now, this is huge. Instead of waiting for your manager to tap on your shoulder and ask, "So what have you been up to?" You want to be ahead of the curve. Regularly share your wins, your progress, and even the challenges you're tackling. Now, you don't need to write a novel every day. Tools like Asana, Trello, and ClickUp are fantastic for this. They give your team a real-time snapshot of where things stand. But sometimes a quick, concise summary email at the end of the week or a structured update during team meetings goes a long way. The key here is to focus on outcomes, not just tasks. For example, instead of saying finished project X, try something like completed report X, which provides key insights into whatever specific business outcome or goal. See the difference? You're connecting your work directly to the bigger picture. Next, we have active participation in virtual meetings. We've all been there, right? Especially on those bigger calls. It's so tempting to just mute yourself and turn off your camera and fade into the background. But resist that urge. Actively participating shows you're engaged. Ask thoughtful questions, offer up insights you've gained, and share best practices from your own experience. This demonstrates that you're not just a passive listener, but you're actively thinking critically about the team's objectives. And yes, while we do love our comfy clothes and messy hair, turning your camera on when appropriate really does make a difference. It helps build that human connection even when you're miles apart. Then there's volunteering for key initiatives. This is a fantastic way to broaden your impact and get noticed. When new projects, task forces, or even internal committees pop up, raise your hand, especially if they're cross-functional. This gives you exposure to different parts of the organization and allows you to showcase skills that might not be part of your everyday responsibilities. It shouts to your manager, "Hey, I'm not just here to do my job. I'm here to contribute strategically." It shows initiative and a willingness to step up. And finally, let's not underestimate the power of the one-on-one. These regular meetings with your manager are gold. Don't just treat them as another task on your to-do list where you give a quick project update. Use this time strategically. Beyond discussing your current project and tasks, talk about your career aspirations. Ask for feedback on your performance. Where are you excelling and where can you improve? Inquire about opportunities for growth within the company. This is your dedicated time to steer the conversation towards your professional development. It shows you're invested in your career and that you're actively seeking ways to contribute even more. Staying visible to management isn't about constant hoverings. It's about being strategic and showing the real value you bring to the team. So we've talked about staying visible, which is super important. But let's be honest, visibility alone won't necessarily lead to professional growth. True growth, the kind that really stretches you and opens up new doors, comes from actively seeking out and embracing new challenges. And this starts with identifying skill gaps and opportunities. Think of it like this. Your company, your team, they're always evolving, right? New technologies pop up, market trends shift, new processes are introduced. So take a step back and look at where your team or company is headed. What new software are they looking into? What market shifts are happening that might require different skills? Are there areas where your current skills could be enhanced or where entirely new skills are needed? Maybe it's a new CRM system, or understanding a different client demographic, or even mastering a new data analysis tool. Once you spot those gaps, you've found your next challenge. Now, once you've identified that sweet spot, don't be afraid to ask for more. This isn't about just saying, hey, I want more work. It's about articulating why you want to take on this challenge. And more importantly, how it will benefit the team or the company. Frame it as a solution to a problem or an opportunity to innovate. For example, instead of just saying, I want to learn this new software, try something like, I've noticed we're spending a lot of time manually processing X. I've been researching Y tool and I'd like to explore how we can implement it to streamline this process. See how that instantly highlights the value you bring? It shows you're thinking proactively and strategically. And here's a crucial tip. Start small, demonstrate success. You don't have to walk into your manager's office and propose overhauling an entire department on day one. Start with a smaller project or take ownership of a new task that utilizes that new skill you're trying to develop. Once you've successfully delivered on that, it builds confidence, not just yours, but also your managers. They'll see that you can take on new things and deliver results, which makes them more likely to entrust you with more significant responsibilities down the line. It's all about building that trust and track record. Finally, and this is a really powerful one for showcasing leadership, consider how you can mentor or train others. One of the absolute best ways to solidify your own knowledge and demonstrate leadership is by helping others. If you've just mastered a particular tool, a new process, or even a tricky client situation, offer to train a new team member or create a quick, helpful guide for everyone. This not only reinforces your own understanding, but also elevates your status as a go-to person on the team. It clearly demonstrates your leadership potential, and that's a huge step towards professional growth, especially in a remote environment where those opportunities might not always be as obvious. By actively seeking out and embracing new challenges, you're not just staying visible, you're actively shaping your growth trajectory and proving your value in the remote workspace. All right, remote islanders, we've talked about visibility and taking on new challenges. Now let's tackle something that often feels a little stuffy in the traditional sense, especially when you're working remotely. Networking effectively online. When you hear networking, maybe you picture bland hotel ballrooms and awkward small talk. But in the remote world, online networking is incredibly powerful and, dare I say, even more accessible for us remote workers. It's not about collecting business cards. It's about building genuine connections. First up, let's talk about leveraging LinkedIn strategically. Think of your LinkedIn profile as your professional storefront, your digital resume that's always open for business. But it's more than just a place to list your past jobs. Optimize that profile and make sure it truly reflects your skills and accomplishments. Then don't just sit there. Engage with relevant content. Like, share, and comment thoughtfully on posts from industry leaders, colleagues, and companies you admire. And don't be shy about sharing your own insights. When you send a connection request, ditch the generic "I'd like to connect." Personalize it. Mention something specific about their work you admire or a shared interest. join relevant groups, and truly contribute to discussions. Being a consistent, thoughtful presence on LinkedIn can really elevate your professional brand. Beyond LinkedIn, there are tons of online communities and forums out there. Seriously, whatever your niche, there's probably a community for it. Whether it's a bustling Slack group for marketing professionals, a dedicated Reddit community for developers debating the latest coding languages, or a specialized forum for project managers sharing best practices, these are gold mines. They're excellent places to learn, ask questions when you're stuck, and most importantly, offer your own expertise. Being a helpful and consistent contributor to these groups builds your reputation as someone knowledgeable and collaborative. People remember those who genuinely help. Then there are virtual industry events and conferences. Remember when going to a big conference meant travel budgets and hotel bookings? Now many have shifted to virtual formats, making them more accessible than ever before. Attend webinars, tune into panel discussions, and participate in virtual workshops. Many of these platforms now have dedicated networking rooms or chat functions where you can connect directly with other attendees. Don't just link. Introduce yourself, engage in the chat, and if you have a valuable conversation, be sure to follow up with those connections afterwards. A quick personalized email or LinkedIn message can turn a fleeting virtual interaction into a lasting professional relationship. And finally, don't overlook the power of informational interviews. This might sound a bit formal, but it's actually a fantastic way to expand your network genuinely. Reach out to people in roles or at companies that truly interest you and politely ask for just 15 to 20 minutes of their time for an informational interview. The goal here is absolutely not to ask for a job. Instead, your aim is to learn. Ask them about their career path, how they got where they are, what their industry is really like, and what insights they might have for someone in your position. This expands your network in a meaningful way and gives you a much deeper understanding of different career trajectories. Always be respectful of their time. Come prepared with a few thoughtful questions, and definitely follow up with a thank you note or email. Think of online networking not as a chore, but as an exciting opportunity to build genuine connections, learn from others, and truly expand your professional universe, all from the comfort of your home. It's about being proactive, authentic, and consistently engaged. Now let's shift gears a bit to something that directly fuels all of that: identifying remote-friendly professional development opportunities. This is absolutely crucial because your growth shouldn't ever be limited by where you happen to be located. The digital world has truly opened up an incredible array of learning opportunities, no matter if you're on a sandy beach or in a cozy mountain cabin. First up, and probably the most obvious, are online courses and certifications. Platforms like Coursera, edX, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning are just bursting with thousands of courses on virtually every subject you can imagine. Many are taught by professors from top universities or real-world industry experts. When you're looking, try to find certifications that are widely recognized in your field. Completing one of these is a clear, undeniable way to demonstrate that you've acquired new skills and are serious about your development. It's a digital badge of honor, if you will. Then there are webinars and virtual workshops. These are fantastic for staying updated on specific trends or learning new tools quickly, and often they're free or very low cost. Make sure you're following industry thought leaders and organizations that frequently host these. Sign up for their newsletters. Keep an eye on their social media. It's a great way to get bite-sized, relevant learning that can keep you ahead of the curve without a huge time commitment. Don't forget about professional associations and memberships. Many of these professional associations, no matter your industry, have really strong online presences now. They offer exclusive resources, member-only webinars, and virtual networking events. Joining one that's relevant to your field can provide not just valuable learning content, but also fantastic connection opportunities with peers and leaders who truly understand your world. It's like having a specialized support group that also offers career boosts. And while we're often looking outwards, don't overlook company-provided training and resources. Your own organization might already be investing in your growth. Many companies have learning management systems or subscriptions to popular online training platforms. Dive into what's available there. If you find your company doesn't offer something specific you need, don't be afraid to propose it. Research a specific course or training that you believe would genuinely benefit your role and the team, and put together a compelling case for why the company should invest in it. Finally, and this is a truly invaluable one, mentorship. Actively seek out a mentor, someone more experienced in your field or perhaps at a higher level within your organization. A mentor can offer personalized guidance, share insights from their own journey, and sometimes they can even advocate for you behind the scenes. This doesn't have to be a super formal year-long commitment. Sometimes, just a few strategic conversations over coffee or a video call can be incredibly impactful. They can help you navigate tricky situations, see blind spots, and open doors you might not even know exist. Remember that professional development isn't just about showing up. It's about actively carving out your path to growth. By tapping into these remote-friendly opportunities, you're investing in yourself and ensuring your skills stay sharp, no matter where your remote island happens to be. Now, we've just talked about all the amazing remote-friendly professional development opportunities out there, from online courses to finding a great mentor. And guess what? All of that feeds directly into our next crucial point, the importance of upskilling and reskilling. These aren't just trendy buzzwords you hear floating around. These are absolutely essential for your long-term career resilience, especially in this rapidly changing remote work landscape we're all navigating. So let's break it down. Upskilling basically means enhancing your existing skills or picking up new complementary ones that help you do your current job even better, or prepare you to move up within your current field. Think of it as deepening your expertise. For instance, if you're a fantastic content writer, upskilling might involve diving deep into SEO best practices so your words get seen, or maybe learning how to write compelling video scripts for that growing video content market. It's about adding more tools to your already impressive toolbox. Now, reskilling is a bit different. This is when you learn entirely new skills to transition into a completely different role or even a brand new industry. Now, this is becoming incredibly common as automation and AI continue to reshape the nature of work. Imagine a super efficient customer service representative who sees the writing on the wall and decides to reskill in data analysis to move into a data intelligence role. It's about pivoting and adapting to new demands. So why is this whole upskilling and reskilling thing so important for us remote workers? Well, for a few key reasons. First, remote work often demands more autonomy and a broader skill set from you. You're not always able to just pop over to a colleague's desk for every little thing, so being more self-sufficient and versatile is a huge plus. Companies are actively looking for adaptable employees who can comfortably wear multiple hats. And second, with the global talent pool now literally at employers' fingertips, there's more competition than ever before. Continuously adding value through new skills is how you stand out and stay indispensable. Ultimately, it boils down to staying curious and adaptable. The most successful remote professionals are lifelong learners. They're genuinely curious about new tools, eager to try out new methodologies, and constantly keeping an eye on new industry trends. This mindset of continuous learning, of always being willing to grow and evolve, is what truly sets you apart. It positions you not just for short-term goals, but for long-term success and resilience in your remote career. It's about embracing change and seeing it as an opportunity, not a threat. So whether you're upskilling to sharpen your current edge or reskilling to carve out a brand new path, remember that continuous learning is your superpower in the remote world. It's how you stay relevant, valuable, and ready for whatever the future holds. So let's bring this all together. Remote work offers us this incredible flexibility, the freedom to work from almost anywhere. But here's the flip side. That flexibility also places more responsibility squarely on your shoulders to drive your own growth and development. You're the CEO of your own career trajectory in this remote landscape, so embrace that responsibility. Advancing your career in a remote role isn't some kind of magic trick. There's no secret potion or hidden portal. It's truly about intentionality and consistent effort. It's about being proactively visible even when you're not in the same room. Taking the initiative to grab new opportunities, building those genuine professional connections online, and committing wholeheartedly to continuous learning. Be strategic in how you apply the tips we've talked about today, from communicating your progress proactively to seeking out those skill-building courses. Remember, your potential isn't limited by your location. In fact, being a remote professional often expands your possibilities, putting a global array of opportunities right at your fingertips. Go out there and be intentional. And if you found this episode helpful, please show your support and like, follow, subscribe, rate, and review to help us reach a wider audience. And don't keep these tips to yourself. Share this episode with friends, family, or colleagues who could benefit. Plus, be sure to check the links in the description to join us on social media for even more insights, tips, and a supportive community. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Remote Islander. If you're considering remote work, remember that it's never too late to take control of your career and pursue your dreams. Happy remote working. Bye.